Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD. The Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu. Distinguished members of the House of Representatives, the Chief of Defense Staff and other service chiefs, the Inspector General of Police, ladies and gentlemen, I am Air Marshal H.B. Abubakar, the Chief of the Air Staff. Let me start by apologizing for my inability to personally appear before you last week, Thursday. It was entirely due to reasons beyond my control. Let me also appreciate the leadership of the House of Representatives for initiating this interactive forum aimed at improving the constitutional oversight of the executive arm of government. I am aware that this wonderful initiative aims at providing our lawmakers with the opportunity to interrogate government officials on areas in need of legislative interventions. Let me also use this opportunity to appreciate the federal government under the able leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, as well as members of this hallowed chamber for the attention given to the Nigerian Air Force in terms of platforms acquisition, maintenance, training, logistics support, and enhanced personnel welfare. These have immensely enabled the capacity and capability of the Nigerian Air Force to frontally tackle the myriad of security challenges facing our dear nation. Distinguished members, the Nigerian Air Force has consistently carried out its responsibilities and ensured its mandate is upheld since its establishment in 1964. I'm sure you are also aware that our security environment remains fluid and unpredictable due to threats posed by terrorists, insurgents, and other criminal elements. Now, in furtherance of efforts of the armed forces to tackle these challenges, the Nigerian Air Force has continued to conduct independent and joint operations aimed at decimating these criminal elements. This has been achieved from January to November this year through 24,795 sorties, with over, again, 27,769 hours flown, while consuming 15,864,000 liters of Jet A1 aviation fuel. Now, this brief will apprise the distinguished members of this House with the progress being made by the Nigerian Air Force operations in curbing these threats, as well as the challenges that we encounter and suggested ways forward. Starting with the progress. Now, in efforts towards addressing activities of insurgents and other criminal elements, the Nigerian Air Force embarked on a wide range of intensive air operations aimed at not only decimating the criminals and denying them freedom of action, but also shaping the operational environment in the various theaters of operations for successful ground offensives. The Nigerian Air Force is currently involved in 7 different theaters of operations across the country, and I will talk briefly on these theaters one after the other, starting with the Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai. The Air Component Operation Hadinkai has continued to conduct joint air operations with the Land Component and the Multinational Joint Task Force to deny the terrorists freedom of action and degrade their capability to conduct attacks against soft targets and own troops.
Order, 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 please.
Within the operation, sub-operations such as Operation Desert and Lake Sanity, Operation Mountain Sanity, and Operation Warun were initiated to degrade the terrorists' capability and enable ground troops to exploit the environment in order to restore peace around the troubled areas. Now, through these efforts, key terrorist leaders and their foot soldiers have been neutralized, with many surrendering till date. Next is Operation Hadarin Daji. Now, this operation is primarily tasked with the conduct of air operations to annihilate terrorists and combat criminal activities such as cattle rustling, kidnapping, violent attacks, and other acts of criminalities within the joint operations areas, covering Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Kebbi states. Now, in line with its mandate, the air component has conducted several operations in coordination with the land forces, which has led to the elimination of some of the prominent terrorist kingpins. Now a look at Operation Well Punch. Operation Well Punch is an amalgamation of Operation Thunder Strike in Kaduna and Operation Gamaiki in Niger State, and an increase in the span of control that included Kogi State and the Federal Capital Territory. Though terrorists and bandits operating mainly around Kaduna and Niger States have been very fluid in view of the large expanse of ungoverned spaces within both states, the air component had conducted series of operations within its joint operations area with positive consequences within the areas of responsibility. Operation Well Stroke. The mandate of Operation Well Stroke, covering Benue, Nasarawa, and Taraba states, is to end the incessant killings of innocent citizens by armed headers, militia groups, and other criminal elements. This has been largely achieved through deployment of troops in patrol bases, conduct of recce, fighting patrols, raids, and destruction of identified armed militia camps, hideouts, and leading to the arrest of several militias and neutralizing several bandits. Operation Delta Safe. Now, Operation Delta Safe was established to curtail the menace of illegal bunkering of oil, pipeline vandalism within the Niger Delta region, and the Nigerian Air Force was tasked to conduct appropriate air operations in support of the land and maritime components. The Nigerian Air Force has also deployed over 400 Special Forces personnel in addition to the air efforts, thereby leading to the destruction of numerous illegal oil refining sites. Now, last but not the least of the operations is Operation Udoka 2. Now, recent calls by the IPOB for sit-at-home in the southeast led to the review of escalating insecurity in the region, and consequently, estimative intelligence demanded greater unity of ongoing kinetic efforts towards containing the activities of the separatist groups such as the Indigenous Peoples of Biafra and Eastern Security Network, as well as other criminal elements in the zone. Accordingly, Operation Udoka 2 was activated to serve as a precursor activity to shape security situation in the region within a 4-month estimate ending by 30th of this month, November 2023. As since its activation, the operation has recorded considerable success through continuous air operations conducted against IPOB and Eastern Security Network. Now, a look at some of the challenges that we face in the conduct of our operations currently. These include the rising cost of aviation fuel. As you are aware, the budget was predicated on about 365 naira to 1 liter of aviation fuel. But right now, as of today, the cost of aviation fuel is about 1,150 naira. So that has created a lot of challenges for us, because we can only operate when we can fuel the airplanes. Another challenge that we have faced is delays in release of funding for procurement. The consistent delay in budgeting in budget funding is a significant challenge, bearing in mind that about 85% of Nigerian Air Force budget has to do with procurement and are foreign exchange based, be it whether it's services or equipment, is all foreign exchange based. So delays in this, and then plus the volatile nature of the foreign exchange that we have experienced in recent times, also creates a lot of challenges for us in the conduct of our operations. Other challenges, as we are all aware, I will not deliberate upon porous borders, and then, of course, the challenges of manpower. Now, distinguished members, the Speaker, distinguished members, the Nigerian Air Force has continued to conduct both independent and joint operations in collaboration with sister services and other agencies aimed at addressing the prevailing security challenges in the nation. These efforts have contributed to improve security across the various theaters of operations. The major challenges of the Nigerian Air Force in conduct of air operations include the rising cost of aviation fuel, delays in release of funding, complexity in targeting, porous borders, and then the poor manpower disposition. I believe that addressing these challenges will go a long way in enhancing the air efforts of the Nigerian Air Force towards alleviating the national security issues facing our dear country. I have left out a lot of detail from this brief in order to meet up with the timing. I hope that during the interactive session, we'll be able to discuss more, and I'll be able to give more detail, and whatever issues are arising, I will be able to address. Honorable Speaker, distinguished members, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Chief. And now I yield the floor to the Inspector General of Police.